More than 50,000 postal workers across the country are about to hit their first full week on the picket lines. The strike has brought mail delivery to a halt, and that means some companies have had to get creative to get their products to their customers. Adam Atkinson has the story.
A small paper in Grimsby called NewsNow relied on Canada Post workers to hand out the weekly rag. But when they went on strike on Friday, the owner of the paper had to figure out how to still reach his readers.
NewsNow, a small weekly community paper in Grimsby, is distributed to nearly 30,000 homes in the Niagara region.
It's a full-service community newspaper, council, community events.
Because of the postal strike, the owner of NewsNow had to figure out a different way to get his paper distributed, so he called on the help of volunteers.
You kind of see the writing on the wall with that as far as a year ago. You know, I was kind of anticipating them using Christmas as leverage, and here we are. In March, we ran some ads looking for carriers.
And the readers stepped up.
We've got about a little over 200 of our 220 total routes in all the communities. What we're doing is we're covering the urban areas, Grimsby, Beamsville, Vineland, Jordan, and Smithville with carriers. And we've been running notices in the paper where people can pick up copies if they live in the rural areas. One of
those volunteer carriers is Alan Smith, a retired teacher.
Well, to help Mike out, we needed the papers. We depend on what's in the paper, advertising, and also what's written.
Smith will be delivering about 100 copies to his neighbors during the strike. Despite being 90, he's not worried about the physicality of the job.
I go for a run 3 or 4 times a week, so having a run around the block with delivering papers, I thought it would be a good thing to do.
Canada Post workers continued to walk the picket lines across the country today.
Morale is good. It's busy. Today was the day that we were delivering socioeconomic checks, so pension checks.
The CUPW Local 548 president says there's not a lot to update in terms of negotiations, but says she's glad volunteers stepped up to deliver NewsNow.
We would love to be doing that as well too, but right now we're just really committed. We're trying to negotiate better working conditions and wages and things like that for ourselves. But I'm glad there were people in the community who wanted to take that on.
Now, the owner of the paper admitted the volunteer carriers aren't going to get rich delivering the paper. They're only getting 10 cents a copy, and many of them are donating that money to charity.